I've played a lot of Dungeons & Dragons. I've played a lot of Dungeons & Dragons over the years, and I've talked a bit about having been spoiled by my previous in-person DM. I used to play with this guy I knew and our friends that before we started playing Dungeons & Dragons together, we used to play League of Legends together, full stack. We mostly just played Aram, but sometimes we played on the Rift, and it was not bad because a game like that isn't always terrible when you're playing with people you know. We stopped doing that, thankfully, and started playing Dungeons & Dragons a lot together in person. Started with a few one-shots, and then eventually we started a campaign. I was the dungeon master for the first 10 levels of this campaign, and then this guy DM'd the second half, and he was fantastic. Some of my most memorable Dungeons & Dragons moments came from that. I had characters that I played for a very long time. My character in that campaign, her name was Catherine Glowcrest, and she was the daughter of a famous enchanter. And she was kind of supposed to be Bulma-pilled, right? From Dragon Ball Z. I got really attached to that character. She was what is that thing called where they have the Arcana, errata, whatever, it's not official rules, but they have sometimes they would release Unearthed Arcana. That's right. Okay. She was a wizard of the School of Invention. She had a lot of tools that made magical things happen. She had force armor that let her do all kinds of cool stuff. She was kind of a magical girl too. I was really, really attached to her. And I got into a situation with her once. She was drowning. There were underwater zombies about to attack her. And so the only option was to swim upwards. And when she swam upwards, a zombie beholder did a death ray on her and turned her into dust. I was really upset. I was really sad. It was really upsetting. I'd never experienced such a terrible thing. And I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry about it. I was so upset. I'll never forget her. I think it's really cool how doing a thing for a long time like that can make you so connected to it. When you think about the psychology behind that, I think that would be helpful for some people to understand VTuber graduations. I feel like if I'd been in the position that some people lately that have been graduated, like Gura, okay, let's just talk about it. She was Gura for 5 years. It doesn't matter who she was before or who she's going to be next. That's gone. That's gone for her. That chapter is closed. And I'm sure she's still going to do some really cool things with her career. And it doesn't dismiss or discount any of the things she just done before. But that story is over. I'm not going to talk about it in too much detail, but I do have a similar story myself, creatively. And when I think about what that meant to me and what that story was, I get a little sad too. But obviously, things are better. I'm very happy with how things have turned out and where I'm at. I couldn't go back to that. I don't think I could ever go back to that. What makes that stuff beautiful is that knowing it's not infinite, knowing that at some point it's going to end, makes the doing of a thing or being a thing much more, whether fiction or nonfiction characters are part of our memories in our lives. Yeah, and it's not just the person behind it either. It's the people that are enjoying it. One of my friends at that table was also very upset about the death of my character and made references to it a lot after the fact. I got to make a new character and come back into the campaign and stuff, obviously. And I was so pissed. I just made a very meta character that was just good stats. Let's get through this. Not narratively exciting, in my opinion. I did enjoy that character, but not near as much as Catherine Glowcrest because she wasn't connected to the story. One of my friends at the table kept making references to her, did a thing about burying her, laying her to rest properly and stuff. Sometimes stuff is meaningful to other people, not just yourself. It's kind of cool.